Welcome, replay viewers, and good morning, everybody. And welcome to this beautiful May morning here on Eastern Long Island, New York. And let's go see if we can see a little bit of purple martin action this morning. Morning, Kathleen. How are you? My former lucky dog friend on Periscope. No more Periscope, right? Unfortunately. But we'll see how we do here on YouTube today with the birds. What was it, 2 days ago? 2 days ago it was a disaster with the hawk. Yes, it is a beautiful day, that's for sure. Can't ask for any better. Well, thank you. That's because the lawn mowing service was here yesterday and cut down the high weeds, so everything looks good today. And also the morning dew has made the lawn glisten a little bit. It's interesting, no matter how sunny it is here during the day or warm or whatever, every morning there's always a morning dew here on the lawn in this location. All right, let's hope we don't lose signal here. Further away from the house, and my air I have in the front room of the house. But we have a lot more birds this morning. So we'll take a look at them. Yeah, moisture from the creek here in the water, overnight evaporation, and then it settles on the lawn in the morning. I think that's what happens. It does get humid. Even on these dry days, it gets humid here overnight in the early morning hours. There they go. Now let's see if they all come back. And they will. All right, now then we will see if we can try some zooming today, since I'm now back to using the Prism live broadcast app, broadcasting to YouTube. Hi, birds. At least 3 dozen. Yeah, they're pretty busy right now. I guess they're just starting to get into the nesting cycle now because of the warmer temperatures. So we've had a lot of the birds pair up for the season, male-female pairs, and claim cavities. And pretty soon the egg laying will start, hopefully within the next week or two. Oh, look at that. I'll take off. That's that collective flight they go on out over the water. All right, now we'll wait for them to come back, and then we'll see if we can get an approximate count. Boy, it is beautiful today. Yeah, they all tend to take off at one time together. Let's see if they've taken any nesting material out of here. These pine needles I put in here. I'll refresh this a little later. But the bird will come down and grab a pine needle or 2 in their beak and take these back up to their nests. The brick keeps the pine needles from blowing away in the wind. So I'll bring some more dry pine needles down here later. That's the purpose that this tray serves, so that the birds can get nesting material. Now, let me share this with you, Kathleen, because this is really great. We're right under the house. Let me tilt up. And look how close we are to them. That's a little too much. Look at that. Now I'm standing right under this house, and we're no more than 8 or 10 feet away from the nearest birds, and they're not going anywhere. So I'm their buddy. You can get a good picture out, and there they go again. So the dark purple, it looks black, but it's an iridescent purple color. That's the male, mature male, as the guy just landed on the perch. And the ones with the gray breasts are the females. That's how we tell the difference between the male and female martins. No, they don't mind me being close here at all. I guess I'm considered to be their protector or benefactor. As I mentioned the other day, I've read this. I haven't heard it firsthand, but I've read this in researching articles on purple martins. And there are ornithologists who think that these birds are actually can be considered semi-domesticated because of the fact that they've been living in human-supplied housing now for the past 400 years or so. And that may well be. They're pretty tame birds. They depend upon us being here. Look at that hover, the female. She's hovering, hover mode. And then they take off and they swoop out over the creek. This is really exciting this morning. A lot of action here today. And I think what's happened, I can no longer get an accurate head count, but I think we've had more birds arrive this morning. We should start seeing what they call the second year birds arriving now, since we're close to May 15th. The birds that were born in this general area last summer and are making their first trip back to Long Island from Brazil. So they'll be the late coming birds. Hey guys, you're putting on quite a show for us today. There we go. Yes, more birds are still arriving, Kathleen. The martins will migrate to this area, this portion of Long Island, probably right up through June 15th. And that's usually, as I say, the second year birds in their first nesting season. Birds that were born last summer. So they're the late arrivals. They tend to have smaller egg clutches. The second year birds are in their first year of nesting. The female will lay 3 to 4 eggs. The mature females will lay, I don't know, half a dozen eggs, sometimes even more than that. Hi guys. So they've all staked out their claims to the cavities. pretty much paired up here for the season, male and a female pair, claim a cavity, and then they'll raise their young ones inside the cavities. The plastic gourds which are hanging under the house are the most popular to begin with because they have quite a big volume in them. They're 11-inch diameter gourds. And the house compartments I made, they're about 11.5 inches deep. So that gives them plenty of room. Hi guys. I don't see any activity on the house behind me. Let's swing around. And nothing going on over at this house right now. So this house is probably not fully occupied yet, which is good because then that'll give nesting sites to the second-year birds arriving over the next few weeks. So, no, to answer your question, and I'm sorry for the delay in answering your questions, but in this bright sunlight, it's a little difficult to read the comments, but no, this is telling me that this particular house, I still have empty cavities. So this is probably about half occupied, but this house over here, and judging from the number of birds on there, I would say that's fully occupied right now. Chirp, chirp. All right, let's tilt this down to the horizon. Look around here. Oh, good. I hope you get some then. They will disperse until they can find housing. When this housing fills up, they will search the general area and, well, let's see, you're probably, as the crow flies or as the martin flies, you're probably less than 3. So, yeah, they would fly through that area looking for housing. My housing over the years with other people in the neighborhood, friends and neighbors. Now let's see if I can zoom in on this and I'll give you one example of that. Yeah, let me get this camera set up properly. I think I can pinch zoom today because I'm using the prism. Let's try this. All right, now tilt down a little bit. Oh, wrong way, Corrigan. All right, behind that cedar tree, you see the pole with the 4 gourds on it to the right of the tree? I gave those 4 gourds to my neighbor 2 houses away about 5 or 6 years ago, maybe longer, because I had excess capacity. So the birds from this area couldn't get in here because I was filled up. So they immediately went down there and checked out that site, and they started nesting in the 4 gourds that the neighbor has now. So he's got a full set of families in that site. Sorry. See this in this zoom mode. And then up the Scenic Creek here, about a quarter of a mile, maybe closer to a half a mile, is another friend. And I gave him a set of houses several years ago. And those houses immediately filled up with excess birds that had pretty much started out in the colonies I had here at this site. There's good wetlands there. There's plenty of insects. Clear, yeah, let me zoom out. Clear fly zone to get to the housing, so that you can't have your housing in the middle of trees or things like that for martins. That's pinched down. See, the martin houses can't be any closer than the nearest tree, because they have to have the of the housing complexes. Oh, hello. Who just joined us here? Andrea, good morning to you. How are you today? We're checking out our purple martins this morning, called Interesting. Oh, no, don't disappoint me, birds. Just as I was going to show you something. So you have the day off today. Today and tomorrow, right through the week. I guess you're going to be well up into the 70s, maybe even to 80 in the city, because tomorrow they're forecasting in the low 70s out here. All right, what I started to say was I wanted to show you and Kathleen and anyone else that's watching that they are starting to refurb cavities. For that. And this is why I do this, so that they don't have to expend a lot of energy flying off distances to get nesting material. So here again, right? This is beetles. They'll grab one in their beak and fly up to the nest. So they supplement what I put in these nests to begin with at the beginning of the season. Now let's move. She, primarily to here. Okay, I have slightly intermittent signal loss. I'm seeing that on my screen. We're doing very well. We both have had a set of shots, although even with the shots, you're going to still practice social distancing and cutting back on like that. I haven't been to the city on the trains in over a year now, but I do have to get back to that. I miss doing that. Okay, what are these guys doing? Bringing any nesting material? Hey, Mr. Martin, what are you doing there? Okay, well, anyway, that's what happens is they grab more pine needles to bring to their nest. Here, I'll come down with a bucket and replenish this. I have a carton of these pine needles in a shed. Let's step back and just watch them fly for a little bit. These, as you can, on the will there be a cannonball this year? I don't think so, but we can't say that positively yet. The railroad has not issued its summer schedule yet. The existing schedule I see only next weekend. I kind of doubt that they're going to have the spacing that would be required on the train. You know, they'd have to limit the number of people, unless that regulation goes away by Memorial Day weekend. Although perhaps now what the governor is saying that everything will be open by July 4th, 100%, so maybe then by July 4th weekend the railroad would restart the cannonball. But we'll make a promise of that. Yeah, let's tilt up a little bit. Get back a little bit. I could spend all morning down here, but there are other things to do today. And as you can see from my neighbor's flag, there's really no breeze to speak of right now. Oh yeah, I guess when the payments start Memorial Day weekend, right now you can still get into the parking lot for free. Although I have an advantage of having a senior citizens Suffolk County, which allows me to get in there free even in the summertime on weekdays. They charge us on a weekend, which is normal, right? That one would expect that. But Monday to Friday, I can drive over there even in the summer and park with the seniors. So that's kind of a nice perk to have. All right, birds. I think we've seen quite a bit of action here today. So there's not that much erosion. I know in past winters, they really ate the beach away right up to the steps, right at Smith Point Beach. Well, that's good to hear that. Okay, Purple Martins, you're doing a good job today. We'll keep an eye out for more birds. Oh, okay, so nothing's set up yet for summer season, but, well, what, 2 more weeks and it's Memorial Day weekend, so Obviously, they're going to be getting ready pretty soon. They haven't started on the new bridge over the Narrows there yet either. The county was supposed to start building a brand new bridge next to the existing drawbridge. That was supposed to have started last year, but obviously with the pandemic, that was delayed. But I guess they haven't even started doing it this year. A wider, much higher span, and I don't know that it's going to have a drawbridge capacity or capability. It's kind of like the bridge they built out in Hampton Bays over Shinnecock Bay, because apparently the current Smith Point Bridge, which was built in 1959, has load restrictions on it now. Oh, so they did another zombie house tear down in that area. Okay. I guess I need to take a ride down there. The closest I got was 4 weeks ago when I was getting my Pfizer shot. Road and William Floyd Parkway. That's where I went for my COVID shots. But I didn't bother going down to the beach that day, or either day. What I read in the paper today in the last couple of days, I'm hopeful now that my grandchildren, the younger grandchildren, will start getting their shots. My 17-year-old grandson has had both COVID shots, and the middle child, Mary, who's 13 now, I guess she's now eligible. So I hope that her parents get her to where she gets the shots. Although they're still at home for school for this whole school year. They're not going back to the classroom until September out in Wisconsin. Okay, oh, here goes a snowy egret flying over, but I missed him. I wasn't able to get the camera around in time. Let's say goodbye to our birds for now. And just as we hoped, they took off. Andrea, thank you for joining me this morning. Kathleen, thanks for being with me all this time. Enjoy the rest of your day off from the hospital. You deserve breaks from the hospital from what you've been through the last year. Okay, I promise if there is a cannonball, we will be there. And hopefully now with the nice weather, we'll be able to do a little more broadcasting of other events. So thanks for joining, and take care, folks. See you soon.